One of the things that sadly sets Formula One apart from other sports is its lack of ethnic diversity. If we compare this with other sports like tennis, where Williams sisters ruled the sport for more than 2 decades, like golf, where Tiger Woods was at the top for several years, and like football, where half of major European teams themselves are people with African origin, Formula One is still lagging behind in terms of bringing real diversity into the sport. The Hamilton Commission suggested several options on how to improve this, but in my personal opinion, most of the recommendations do not really hit the target of why we don't see diversity in Formula One. But at the core of this issue, the reason itself is very simple, and there is a very simple way to solve this problem. It might sound too drastic a change, and when implemented, Formula One will not be the same anymore, but it will ensure that we will truly see a positive change in Formula One. Hear me out. Formula One is famous for being a rich old man sport. During the Ecclestone era, it used to be extremely challenging for even fans to access Formula One content. Bernie cemented this idea further by saying he would rather not enter social media because there is no point making Formula One appealing to a younger generation who have no money at the end of the day, and there is no way he can sell anything to them. While Formula One was expensive for fans to access, it is one of the most expensive sport for a driver or a constructor to enter into. Unlike a sport like football, Formula One has an extremely high cost of entry. For a young kid dreaming to be a footballer, the way up requires pure talent and willingness to practice and excel. However, in Formula One, there is a third factor that perhaps plays the most crucial role: money. If you do not have money, then all the talent and skill in the world can only give you a tiny percentage of chance to climb up the Formula ladder. Unless your name is Lewis Hamilton or Esteban Ocon, of course. For Hamilton, for example, luck played a crucial role. Had he not caught the eyes of Ron Dennis as a very young teenager, I doubt his father could have funded his climb up further in the GP and Formula ranks. And you may ask why money is being discussed in a video about diversity. In my opinion, money is the biggest hindrance for diversity in Formula One. In order to excel in karting and lower ranks of Formula, you need a solid backing from someone, most often your family, and it is evident there are more rich white dads than rich brown, Asian or African origin dads in the world. The black-white wealth gap is something that is well documented, and therefore I will not go into much detail here. With solid 6 figures needed to fund a season in higher karting levels, things quickly get out of hand of a middle-class family, and therefore beyond the reach of most African origin and Asian origin young drivers. So, now that we have established what the problem exactly is, you may ask how we can solve this issue. As simple as the problem is, the solution is even simpler. The way to make Formula One more accessible to different races is to take money out of the equation. Here are the 2 ways you can do it effectively. Spec series at lower levels. The lower levels of Formula, including karting, Formula 4, 3 and 2, should be converted into spec series. That means ultimately everyone who enters as a team are given equal machinery. This takes out the incentive for drivers and teams to overspend for performance gain. Climbing up the ladder would then also be purely based on skills. This means the poor kid with better talent will clearly climb up the ranks over a rich kid with low talent. relegation system at Formula 1. Even if we keep lower levels as spec series, it would be difficult to ensure highly talented young drivers ending up in Formula 1. And of course, we cannot make Formula 1 a spec series. That would take the essence out of Formula 1. At Formula 1, the only solution we have is to convert it into a football-style relegation promotion system. That means the paid drivers, if they do not perform at the end of the day, get relegated to junior ranks. And the winner of the junior rank gets automatically promoted to Formula 1. This means at the end of 2020, Latifi would have gotten relegated and Mick Schumacher would have got promoted in his place. Mazepin would have never joined Formula 1 since he did not finish in the championship in top 3. To be honest, both of these ideas would never get accepted by FIA and the teams. The suggestion is too radical and would change the way Formula 1 has functioned in the last 70 years. But in my opinion, this is the only way to ensure we have more diversity in the sport. Being a brown person myself, I would be thrilled if we have more brown people in Formula 1. But at this point, you either need an ultra-rich dad who believes in your dreams, or you need a sponsor who believes you can go all the way and become a world champion one day. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you like to watch similar content, and stay tuned to I Am Formula for everything Formula 1. Until next time, take care and stay safe.